Hi everyone, it's LPS Lollipop Productions here, and welcome back to another video. So today I decided that I would do a tag since it's been a really long time since I've made a video in my tag series, probably like a couple months, I don't know. And as you saw from the title, that tag of choice is the 7 Deadly Sins tag, so let's just get into it. Also feel I should address Mlpfever created this tag, so all credit goes to her. So the first of the 7 deadly sins is greed, and this means your most expensive LPS and your least expensive LPS. So I think I'm going to start out with my least expensive LPS because that's easier for me to answer. If you've been with me for a little bit now, you may remember that I think back in May or June maybe, I found a whole bunch of LPS for 50 cents a piece. So I was able to get a bunch of them, and one of them happened to be this lovely short hair. And for this LPS, 50 cents is crazy cheap, so although I got all of them for 50 cents each, I would say this one's probably my least expensive for what it is. As for most expensive LPS, that's a little bit hard for me to define because I'm never one to spend a ton of money on LPS. The most I spent was actually on a few LPS at once, and I made a video about that, so I'll link it up in a little eye if you're curious. But really, if I look at the individual price that I paid for those, it wasn't that much. So I think I'm gonna do it what LPS I have that is valued at the most expensive. And if I had to guess, it would probably be one of these. So these 4 LPS here are ones that I have seen online going for some quite expensive prices before. So I don't know if they're my most expensive necessarily, or if I have ones that are worth more. But if I had to guess, I think it would be one of these. The next of the 7 deadly sins is gluttony. So in this case, that means either a bunch of variants that you have or doubles, a time that you bought a big LPS slot or splurged on LPS. For this one, I would have to say a time in, I think, 2015 when I went to Goodwill, and I had never found much luck there when it came to LPS. But that day, I was walking in, they had these big glass sliding doors to enter the store for me, and I wasn't even inside yet. I could see the toy rack, and I saw LPS, so I ran in and I started grabbing a bag of LPS, and then every time I grabbed one, I would find another, so I just had bag after bag of LPS, and I was freaking out, and since they were at a thrift store, they were a really good price, and there were a lot of ones that would usually be a lot more expensive. And I think in that lot of LPS, there were either around 90 or a little over 100, so I got very lucky that day, and I was so happy. Next up is Wrath, which is an LPS that you have a love-hate relationship with. I think that honor would have to go to this bunny here. See, I adore this bunny. I think it's such a cute design. I love her pink colors and her hearts. She's just such a cute pet, right? But when I got her, she was in very poor shape. I still got her because she was very cheap and a good deal. But as you can maybe tell, she has a lot of paint chipping. She also, if I turn her to the side, she has some bite marks on her ear. And all of that's fine and good, but my main issue, and what I can't really fix, is that her paint is discolored. Well, not even her paint really, it's her plastic. So this LPS is supposed to be much more vibrant in her pink. I can put up a picture, for example. You might not be able to tell on camera, but in person it's quite noticeable, so her colors have just been drained out. And she's still really cute, and I love this LPS, but I just wish her colors looked normal. The next sin is Lust, which in this case means one of your favorite LPS. This one is so difficult for me because I love all of my LPS way too much, so I'm gonna have to mention a few here. First of all, I love Macy, who is my mascot that I'm using now. I also really love this husky here. I just think that she is so cute, and I love her colors and her design. Adorable. Another one I also happen to have right here. This short hair. Again, I just love her colors and design. I think they're so cute. Really, I could name like 5,000 more, but I'm gonna go with one more for now. And that is this bonbon cat, as I call them. This bonbon cat, mostly because of her sentimental value to me. If you guys have known me for a while or just have known my channel for like a long time, I guess, you would know that this LPS used to be my mascot. Her name's Candy, and she was also one of 5 LPS that I got, and she was one of my first LPS. Those 5 were my first. So I have a lot of memories playing with her when I was younger. I've had this LPS for longer than I can even remember. And just thinking about how I used her in all of my old videos and games, and how much this LPS meant to me and still means to me, it's crazy, and I wouldn't be here on this channel if it wasn't for this LPS. The next one is Pride, which is fairly self-explanatory, so an LPS that you are proud to have in your collection. I have a few LPS to show in this category, but the first of them is this adorable little poodle. Now, if her being really cute wasn't enough, she came from one of my very good friends' Voodoo Dreams LPS, and on the bottom of her paws, she actually has her initials from when she was younger. So I have come to the conclusion at this point that I happen to have her autograph on an LPS, and when she someday becomes famous because she's super talented, I'm gonna have this LPS that's worth like $1,000. Also, all of that aside, she's just such a good friend of mine, so it's really amazing to have an LPS that she had owned for so long. Next is another LPS coming from a friend of mine, and it is this gorgeous custom of my mascot Macy on a baby LPS. And this came to me from my friend LPS Rainbow TV. And having an LPS from her, first of all, is already amazing, but having this custom that she worked so hard on, and like all the little details in it, they're spot on, and it's absolutely adorable. One more LPS that I'm proud to own is this short hair cat, because I found her at a flea market back in December for a pretty good deal. She was in terrible shape, but I managed to fix her up quite a bit, so now she looks a lot better, I think. And she usually goes for fairly expensive prices, so I was quite happy about that. The next sin is Sloth, so this is part of your collection that you're lazy with. Yeah, I don't know if that counts, but my entire LPS shelf is a disaster area right now. And then last but certainly not least is Envy. So this one is an LPS that you really want that's hard to get, but I'm also gonna add a little bonus in here. So a couple LPS that I really want but would be difficult for me to get because they're just expensive or rare or anything like that. First of all, it's this Dachshund. I forget her number, but I'll put up a picture. She is such a beautiful LPS, I love her colors, but she is a French exclusive, and because of that, she is crazy expensive, not to mention the fact that she's a main 5. I also really want this short hair cat, but she's super expensive. And then my little bonus thing for the Envy category is just something I kind of want to rant about. When you're really wanting to buy a certain LPS or LPS lot, like whether it's on, I don't buy from eBay, I usually get from local sellers on this Canadian website. But like, wherever you buy your LPS, you're planning on getting a certain one, right? And then somebody else swoops in and buys it before you can. It just makes my heart hurt, as dramatic as that is. Like, I literally feel so sad because that was supposed to be for me. We're just gonna act like that didn't happen to me twice within the span of a couple weeks. But anyways, that is it for the 7 Deadly Sins tag. I had a lot of fun doing this one. I think that the concept is really unique and that all of you should do it too. I have listed all of the questions in the description below, so if you're interested in doing it yourself, you can. But with all of that said, thank you so much for watching. I love you all a lot, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!